Once upon a time, in a quiet and peaceful monastery, there was a wise and respected monk named Zenji. He wanted to impart an important lesson to his fellow monks, so he decided to conduct an experiment. Zenji walked into the monastery's common room, holding a beautiful diamond ring in his hand, and said, "Who wants this ring?" Every monk raised their hands eagerly. Zenji then took the diamond ring and dipped it in a bowl of muddy water before asking again, "Who still wants it?" A few hands went down while some stayed up. He then threw the ring on the floor and stomped on it with his sandals before picking it up back. "And now, who still wants it?" he asked again. Most of the monks hesitated, but a few still raised their hands. Zenji then introduced his surprise. "I have a friend named Kakuzen who is a calligrapher. He has written a beautiful scripture worth $100. Who wants to have the scripture instead of the muddy ring?" he asked. Some monks raised their hands while others didn't. Zenji turned to his fellow monks and said, "You all have learned a valuable lesson today. Just like this muddy ring, you may be tarnished and beaten by life, but your worth never decreases. You should never forget your value, even in the face of difficulties. But let me ask you something. Why did some of you choose the scripture over the ring?" One monk named Shuzan raised his hand and said, "The scripture is a sacred text that holds wisdom and guidance for us. It has spiritual value, which is worth cherishing." Zenji smiled and nodded. "Exactly, Shuzan. The scripture is just one example of how there are different forms of value in the world. The muddy ring represents the physical and material value, while the scripture represents the spiritual and philosophical value. Both the ring and the scripture have value, despite their differences. So do you, my dear brothers. Each one of you has something unique and valuable to offer the world, regardless of how you may appear on the surface." Suddenly, a monk named Daito raised his hand and spoke up. "But Zenji, what if we don't know what our value is? What if we don't feel valuable at all?" Zenji looked at Daito and said, "Daito, that's a great question. Sometimes it may be hard to see our own value, but that doesn't mean it is not there. Each one of you has unique talents, strengths, and qualities that makes you valuable. It is up to you to discover and embrace them." The entire monastery listened with rapt attention as Zenji concluded, "Your self-worth is not determined by the challenges you face or the world around you. It is an inherent part of who you are. So go out into the world and shine, knowing that you are always enough." Dear friends, in our life, our self-worth is not determined by our achievements or the opinions of the world around us. It is an inherent part of our being. So let us cultivate our inner world and share it with others. Thank you for watching.
And stay happy.